Hello again, and thanks for visiting my channel here. So, melodic improvisation. I've always felt that playing from the soul and playing in a melodic way is the type of guitar improvisation that touches people the most. While there might be an aspect of being impressed by somebody's technique or technical facility, I think at the end of the day, the way we make someone feel as a guitar player is going to make more of an impact than any analytical impressions that we might give somebody, by technique. So if you're able to touch somebody, that memory is going to last. And today I want to show you in 10 minutes, it might be a few minutes more, how to become a more melodic player, what the foundations really are that you should work on, develop if you want to become a melodic improviser. This lesson is geared towards players that already have some experience, that are somewhat proficient in playing pentatonic phrases all over the fretboard and are now looking to just become more expressive and sound more exciting and less repetitive. If that is you, then this lesson is just going to be perfect for you. All right, let's dive right into it. So first of all, let's look at that backing track that I put down here below. It's for my friends at Elevated Jam Tracks. They have some awesome jam tracks. So if you are not familiar with them yet, you might want to check out their jam track bundles and download a selection. So this particular track here that I'm playing over, it has a very simple chord structure. It's in G minor, and it basically just goes around the G minor chords. Yeah? So we got G minor here, right? Then we got an E flat chord. Then we got an F, going back to the E flat. So we're just staying in this G minor kind of mood. So we shouldn't worry about the note material for now, but just kind of think of this as G minor, right? So the first step that I just want to check on with you, and you can check for yourself, how good is your basic lick material? If you just to put on a G drone, how many melodic ideas can you come up with? Let's do that for a second here. Yeah? Pentatonic only. Now adding the ninth. Now adding the flat sixth as well, which is the interval that makes this the minor scale. how much emotion can already be in just playing these phrases over the drone. And we're just in G right now. So, you know, once we add the chords back in, it's gonna create different colors because each chord is gonna make those phrases sound differently. So I really want you to go to this drone level and start just working on your overall phrasing that you have available in your vocabulary. That's gonna be one absolute key component to sound more musical. All right, let's move to the next one. So the next aspect is I want you to start structuring your phrases more in a musical fashion. Instead of just randomly playing licks, just the way they pop into your head, I want you to kind of develop some solid musical motives where one phrase just flows into the next and connects to the next, where the story that you're telling is not a random one, but you're actually leading somewhere with what you're saying. I want to give you an example of what that sounds like if you just focus on, for example, playing the same rhythmical structure and just keep repeating this as a motive. Let's check it out. Do you feel how suddenly this improvisation starts feeling more like a composition, right? It sounds like I'm a singer that's just playing a melody. And this is all happening because I'm paying attention to the clear rhythmical structures of my lines. I'm making them more relatable. Instead of just playing, you know, I could be playing. Play random licks that don't have a rhythmical cohesion to them. Instead of that, I'm really structuring my phrases very consciously and making them sing. So give this a try, and I think it's going to change your playing in a major way. Next one and last one for this lesson, add in the spices. So if we think mainly in the pentatonic, and let's say we add in that ninth interval to make it more melodic, if we look at that as our meat and potatoes, so to say, then now it's time to add some additional spices. And what I mean by spices is to be aware which notes can give us certain colors, which intervals can give us certain emotions. Now, over the G minor here, there's one note in particular that gives us a lot of emotion, and that's the flat 6, because it adds a flavor that we haven't heard before. Yeah? So let's check this out. If I'm going... Can you hear that? It's a very longing quality to me. There's a... So you really want to connect to those colors that you have available. That would be one spice. And then over the D7 chord, I don't know if you noticed, but there comes the point where this D7 chord is introduced. At that particular spot, there's another note introduced that is the third of that D7 5 chord, and that is the leading tone. It has a very classical color to it. So watch out for that spot and see if you can if we can build some phrases that include this leading note, leading tone. Yeah? I'm gonna forward it to that particular spot, and you're gonna hear the effect of that note. So there was another note. Did you hear there was two notes actually that I added to outline the changes more? So one was the D, over the D7, I added the F sharp, right? You heard that up there. And then we had another note in there. It went back to the G minor, and then we had suddenly a C major in there. So there was a little inflection in there that hadn't been there before. So on that particular C major, I was adding the E note. Usually I was playing the E flat note, which is the flat 6 of G minor. So basically what's happening here is I'm changing the flat 6 to the regular 6, the E note, just over that one C chord. Yeah? Let's listen to that one more time. I'm just going to play that note. Were you able to hear that? So it's going from that E over the C note. By the way, when you follow the jam track here, elevated jam tracks, they made a mistake there. Right? It says D7, but this is actually a C chord. So mistake here on the elevated jam tracks video. But anyhow, so you clearly hear how it moves from that E to the E flat. Yeah? And that's exactly what I mean by little spices. Those are the little spices that the advancing guitarist or someone who is not educated might not pick up on those little things. It takes a little bit of a ear for intervals to hear those things. But then once you can land on those notes, it's just going to sound spectacular. Yeah? And that's what I want to demonstrate to you now. What happens if I put all these elements together into an awesome improvisational brew? Let's see what that sounds like. Awesome. So if you enjoyed this lesson and you're becoming more and more aware that you want to level up and develop those indestructible foundations, but you're lacking the feedback and one-on-one guidance to really get there, then I want to invite you to check out the link below. This is the link to my TGT Academy Inner Circle. Those are the students that work with me one-on-one with weekly Zoom calls and complete guidance on completing all the tasks that I give them and that we review on a weekly basis, so that you may develop the lead guitar skills that you've been dreaming about to be able to play in this fluid and expressive fashion. That was a long sentence. So I very much look forward to seeing you again. And if you enjoy my lessons, then subscribe to the channels, show me a little support, and hit the bell to get the notification when the next video drops. Keep rocking.